This week's episode of Comics for Fun and Profit is brought to you by Marvel Pricing. Yeah, it was $3.99 for a little while. Now it's $4.99 for some things. But do you think you've got us figured out? Oh no. It's also $5.99 sometimes. But don't get too comfortable. Sometimes it'll be $6.99, maybe $7.99. There's no reason. Well, there's a quote-unquote anniversary issue, maybe. Or, an extra-sized issue, which is like 5 more pages. Let's stop messing around. We all know we're going to go straight to $9.99, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because we'll do what we want, okay? So just buy the comic and shut your mouth. We're Marvel.
Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Colin Drew with your sneak peek at next week. Episode number 739 for Comics originally coming out June the 7th and June the 8th. But before Drew and I get to what's coming up, your local comic book shops this coming Tuesday or Wednesday. Drew, I hope you're all caught up on Obi-Wan because it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, well, halfway through.
So you're not caught up.
Well,
halfway through. We have 3.
We have 3 down, 3 to go. Third being the best, I think. Really enjoyed that episode a lot, and but I've enjoyed the whole thing. Very good. And
yeah, I want more than 6 episodes though.
yeah. Trying to explain things. The wife asks questions throughout. She is a
now you know how I feel
right
when Star Wars stuff comes out.
Now I know exactly how you feel when I go who's that? And yeah, so she's limited to the movies, but basically the original trilogy is her jam, and then the prequels she watched once, and the final trilogy I don't know that she got through them all. So what she's now proposed is that we need to watch in order all 9 of those, plus I guess Solo and Rogue One, and to get caught up. And she's seen The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, so she's current there. But like me, she doesn't do the cartoons.
Shame. For shame. But hey, any excuse you can get to rewatch the trilogies, I say you do it.
Yeah. And there was a lot of Phantom Menace referenced. A lot of the original prequel referenced during that recap before Obi-Wan started.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot in there. So you can't dismiss it. It's good stuff.
Yes, very much so.
But yeah, great look and feel. Loved a lot of the characters. I thought it was really great. I don't know why people are so upset about Third Sister. I don't get that. I really enjoyed her.
I will give the opportunity to explain a few things, but other than that, she must have a teleportation skill I do not understand.
Because she catches up to people or gets ahead of people?
Yeah, she just magically caught up to at the end of episode 3.
Would you see the way she was like bounding and using the force to propel herself across those rooftops?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty quick. She was moving pretty fast.
Not a lot of rooftops in that place they were at. And she also didn't know where the end was to that tunnel, unless we get more story later that she might have. But who knows?
Yeah, I was curious how she got to the ahead of the girl in the tunnel.
The girl?
I thought she got to the tunnel after.
You mean Leia?
So it was. Yes. Yeah. How she got ahead of her and was like waiting. But I was like, how did that happen? But so maybe we'll get a scene to find out how that worked. But yeah,
hopefully we'll get something. We also get
interesting.
We have Vader as the one of the more powerful Force users in the galaxy. Can't walk by and pinpoint somebody out where they are using the Force. He can feel them near and all that stuff. But Third sister has not only the ability to see through every wall and track people perfectly, so she may be one of the most powerful in the galaxy.
Yeah, I really assumed Darth was just like, oh, there's Obi-Wan over there peeking behind a thing, because they're like in tune with each other, right?
He just knew he was around. That's why he decided to just straight up murk everybody he found to make him pop out.
Yeah, and then, but I guess he did, because he went and found him to battle, so he zoomed in on him, and I loved how Obi-Wan is running at his top speed, and then Darth just does the lumber, the Darth Vader lumber, and he's completely catches up every time. I'm like, that's cool. That's just like a brisk walk, and he catches him every time. So cool.
But very
nitpicks aside, it was great. Yeah, it's been great. Give me more.
Yes, absolutely. It's nice to have the Wednesday item.
Does it drop Wednesday night?
Mm-hmm.
Or Thursday?
It's, Tuesday night, Wednesday, I believe.
Oh, is it? I was thinking it was Thursday.
Yeah.
So is what I remember. Maybe I just didn't watch it. I didn't watch it until Thursday.
There you go.
So that's probably why. We had some interesting comic book executive news. For those of you who in your fantasy leagues.
Yeah, your comic book executive and editor fantasy leagues.
Yeah. Joe Quesada has left Marvel after 22 years at the helm.
Let me guess. To start a Substack.
Oh, he'll end up at he'll end up somewhere. Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure, what era he was in charge of. I knew he'd been around for a while. So on our Slack, when Adam was talking about some of the things that he was responsible for during his run, was the Straczynski Spider-Man run, the Bendis Daredevil run, the Brubaker Captain America run, the entire Ultimate line, all happened on his watch. And those are some top quality runs right there. I think lately, the post Axel Alonso and the Akira guy that's at the helm now, I don't think he's had much of a role, so maybe that's why he's phased out. But I thought that was kind of interesting. 22 years later, he decides to go off.
Time to retire or go on to something different.
Probably.
You see a lot of creative people just want to do different things.
Yes. And then...
which is why I'd never do anything different.
Not creative, is that what you're saying?
Nope, steady Eddie.
And Bleeding Cool, the crappiest website in the world, reports that Bill Jamis is leaving AWA and may have had a split with the other company bigwig over NFTs. He wanted to do them, the other guy didn't. So...
I want crypto. I want NFTs.
Yeah, and AWA has been crushing it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so I'm hoping he was not the creative editorial leader finding and procuring these great titles, and when he leaves, it dries up because. Yeah, AWA has been fantastic. So
that would be a shame. Or maybe he goes to somebody else and makes them Dynamite as well. Not Dynamite, but better as well.
Maybe he could make Dynamite better.
Maybe he goes to Dynamite and makes Dynamite.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
And now it is time for the Marvel previews to see what those good guys. We got 100 pages of Marvel preview goodness. I bet you there's a lot of X books.
June for August 2022. Of course, Drew and I like to go through the previews and kind of see if anything pops out that we think is spec-worthy, raid-worthy, or just to see the general direction of where the market is going. And from our cover, the market is going straight towards children and Fortnite. Yep. So that's where our cover is leading us. Each first print issue unlocks a digital cosmetic for Fortnite. Woohoo.
Costing Kyle money.
Amen. Now I've got to buy 2 copies.
Yeah. Are you going to tell him, or is he going to come to you?
Nope, he was annoying when I told him about the first ones. He was like, when's it come, when's it come, when's it come, when it come, when it come, when it come.
So he's not he's not even gonna know about this one.
Correct. Never know what happened.
Because he's not a fan of the podcast.
Yes, he doesn't listen. He's not a Patreon member, so he gets no perks.
no perks for him.
But we will talk about things like Spider-Man 1000 and Fortnite later, because we are going to start with Judgment Day AXE 3 of 6. So we're going to start with a book we've already talked about 14,000 times.
And that's
Karen Gillan X book.
That's our lead blurb.
Yes.
Axe Judgment Day 3 of 6.
Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, for those of us who weren't paying attention to what Axe means.
Yes, right. That was not.
So we've got 3 of 6, we've got 4 of 6, and then we've got 2 of 3 on Death of Mutants, and then we got more mutant books. So
X-Men Red, Marauders, Immortal X-Men, X-Men 14. Kyle, I really wish you were an X-Man guy so that you could tell me what I'm missing out on this. So I don't
if
have to
I
read
were
this.
an
I don't want to
X
read all
reader,
this.
I don't know that I would have time for this podcast because I'd be too busy reading things like X-Force and weird Fantastic Four books and weird, the 75 Wolverine books and everything. But
yeah. Now, I say that, I agree with you, but then I also read a lot of Batman books.
Yes. Yes.
So Amazing Spider-Man 10 is actually a Judgment Day tie-in. So I read Amazing. So I will get a little taste of AXE.
We'll see what Zeb Wells has to say about AXE.
Yes. And I do read Fantastic Four. 47 is also a tie-in. So I'll get a little more of a taste. But that's probably all of the crossovers I have, unless Moon Knight also ties in later.
And then several pages later, we are back to Fortnite Cross Marvel Zero War number 3 of that 5-issue series. Of course, we have all kinds of covers with Fortnite people next to Marvel people.
Kyle,
I don't really even know what the
page
digital unlock is, but I'm sure I will have to find it.
Yeah.
Okay, shenanigans. What shenanigans are you calling on 4 of 5?
I'm calling shenanigans on Amazing Fantasy 1000.
Yes, absolutely.
Have there been 1,000 issues of Amazing Fantasy? Really? Legitimately? 1,000 issues? And it says it hits issue 1,000. Like 15 was the first Spider-Man, and that was like just in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So how did we get to 1,000 since the 60s? And Spider-Man came after it, and it's not at 1,000. I mean, was it like a weekly for like years or something? I don't buy it. I don't buy that number.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if
and Amazing Fantasy was just not around for years and years while I was a comic reader.
Yeah, the reason we got Spider-Man on Amazing Fantasy 15 is because it was a dying book, and that was the last issue of Amazing Fantasy. So he was finally allowed to put Spider-Man on it because it no longer had a future.
So maybe there was that was a new volume, and there's like 850 before that run where Spider-Man was introduced or something. I guess I'll have to do some research because I just don't believe it. I don't believe there's 1,000. But they do creative math all the time.
This they do,
and a lot of these shocked me. I didn't even believe Elektra hit 100.
Yeah.
So who am I to know, right?
So when I go to my good friends at comicbookrealm.com,
yes,
I see 12 issues of Amazing Fantasy starting in 1962.
Okay.
Yeah, I see maybe 100 books.
What? What is going on? Is this a typo?
Okay. Well, okay. So Amazing Fantasy previously became Amazing Adult Fantasy. This is one of those things where they're changing many a name.
Yeah, so there's but none of them have long runs.
Yeah, exactly. None of them have long runs.
Yeah, so I'm not. Yeah, anything with the word amazing and fantasy in it, I'll give you credit for all of them.
And you're still not there.
You're still not at 200 books.
Yeah.
It's probably some kind of Wikipedia deep dive I'm going to have to do, and because books. It happened in 62. There were some Amazing Fantasies. In 2000, we revived it.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2021, we revived it. Other than that, no Amazing Fantasy happened.
Yeah. So are we taking the numbers from Amazing Fantasy and the numbers from Spider-Man and smushing them together?
Our 1000th issue of... We're going to celebrate our 1000th issue of Amazing Fantasy. Oh, what am I missing, folks? How is this even possible?
Fuzzy math. Right off the bat, if you're asking how Amazing Fantasy got to 1,000, well, it's really more of a figurative number meant to celebrate the anniversary, more than an actual legacy number, though maybe if you count the entire almost 900 issue run of Amazing Spider-Man alongside the relatively few issues of Amazing Fantasy that have been published over the decades, you might get there. So this is complete BS. Completely arbitrary. So what they've essentially done is take the day that Spider-Man came out and just say, if we'd given one a month, we'd be on 1,000, I think.
That is just baloney.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why, people don't trust,
Wait, let's go. What?
Because stuff like this, man, it just undermines...
You sound so much like a hippie.
Issues.
Yeah, man. Like, seriously, this isn't even right, man.
This is just a buzz. This is a harsh in my buzz, man. Because how could they do that? Why would they do that?
You know what, Drew? Because they can.
You have so many legit... Do you? I don't even know anymore. Do
No.
you have legit legacy?
When you have to put out these books... Okay, so this is an $8 book, Drew. Yeah. So if you want $8 for your books, you're going to have to think of a good reason.
You can't get $8 out of Amazing Fantasy 78. You have to make it into 1,000. Well, this is dumb.
Yes, this is possibly one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. That we are literally taking, 60 book run and calling it 1,000 is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life.
So this is basically...
You could have just said 60th anniversary. It's 60th anniversary.
Yeah. 60th anniversary, that's fun. Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. You could get $8 out of a 60th anniversary book, but not a lie. Not a blatant lie. Ay.
You know what? Next time I renew my driver's license, I'm putting that I weigh 145 pounds. Because if they can get away with this, that's what I'm doing.
Well, my weight hasn't changed since high school. Oh my God. They smirk at me. Yeah, you sure? I'm still the same. They're pudgy.
Does our cousin still work at the DMV? Is that what you
Yeah, she retired.
All right, moving on from deception, lies, and bullcrap. Let's move on to Ultraman #1.
Yes. Is it #1, though? Really?
No. We have started over again. And we have the photo variant cover with the old, weird cover, but I actually kind of like those.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Edge of the Spider-Verse #1.
Yeah, keep going with these. I like these. Go back to the well. They're fun, usually in some new and exciting way, introducing interesting characters. Keep doing it. I like it.
All right, so they are explaining Edge of the Spider-Verse more than they were explaining Amazing Fantasy 1000. The end of the Spider-Verse is coming, and then they give a Webster's definition. Edge, noun, the outermost limit of an object. 2, the sharp side of a blade. The leading edge of the Spider-Verse brought you Spider-Gwen and Penny Parker. This final edge will introduce you to some of the most important characters in the future of the Spider-Verse, but it will also slice the final strand of the web.
Oh, are we down to the final strand of the web?
Apparently we are on the final strand of the web. In this issue, Spider-Man Noir, Arana's new status quo, Spider-Rex, and more. Do we know Spider-Rex?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think that was the first volume character.
Gotcha. Probably buy all these because if this is the last time they're doing this, they're going to sneak somebody else in.
Oh yeah, pull out all the stops. And Slott's doing it. Is your boy?
Yeah, okay. So the first issue is Dan Slott, Alex Segura, Carla Pacheco, with Mark Bagley and more on art. So we don't even know how many artists we have. And then on the second issue, we just have Dan Slott and more.
They're all 48 pages, though. They're a little double-sized.
Yeah. And we are getting 3 of the 5 issues coming out in August. Yeah. So we are triple shipped.
And then we're going to do a giant-sized Gwen Stacy. 120 pages.
Wait, okay, hold on. This Edge of Spider-Verse 3 says, in this issue, Spider-Man India and Night Spider. Wait, who is Night Spider? So we're getting, essentially, the Black Cat version of Spider-Man. So we're going to have to buy these.
Yeah, for sure.
We get a new Spider-Man UK in issue. Yeah, crap, we got to buy this whole stupid 5-issue series. Because I can't miss another friggin' Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, giant-sized Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, 120 pages. That's a heck of a one-shot.
Presenting issues 1 and 3 of Gwen Stacy Limited Series.
Oh, so it's just a trade.
It's just a trade.
Gotcha. Damage Control #1. Looks like my boy Moon Knight's making an appearance there. And it's the creator of TV's The Goldbergs taking the reins of the writing duties there. I'm curious if it's going to be funny. Haha.
It looks like it. You've got the 3-fingered Nightcrawler doing weird gang signs, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. She-Hulk, Quicksilver, Ghost Rider, Nightcrawler, and Moon Knight. Whoever the dude in the suit is.
More Captain America, Symbol of Truth. More Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. Some dope-looking Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky. I really like that cover. Strong Marco Cicchetto cover.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, the penultimate of this 5-issue Chris Claremont Gambit series, is here. Tagging up a few more X books like X-Men Legends and Exterminators, Knights of X, Legion of X, X-Men 92 is ending with its 5th issue.
New Mutants. And then we have X-Men and Moon Girl #1.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Mahale Mashigo on writing, David Cutler on art.
Cupboard is bare with these creators I've never heard of. Amazing tying in, doing a Hellfire Gala tie-in. Amazing Spider-Man #9. We're going to finish up Spider-Punk with issue 5.
Clash in DC. I see what they did there. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 41. Carnage 6, Venom 11.
This is Selam's Empire Strikes Back. Ooh. Interesting. Avengers.
Midway through the variants by Gail Simone. By this time, Thunderbolts is winding down. Defenders Beyond, Ant-Man 3 of 4 for that Al Ewing run. Weird Mech Strike books, Jane Foster, and The Mighty Thor. Man, so many nothing books. I hate to say that, but so many just nothing books.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just for the Marvel zombies. I mean, if you're a casual Marvel fan, you're not going to be drawn in by Iron Cat. Wild Cards, the drawing of cards. That seems a snoozer.
I've heard good things about these Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood, or at least some of the stories have been done well.
I didn't like the first one. I haven't read the second one yet. I don't know if it's out. I didn't like it enough that I didn't buy the second print of the first issue.
Gotcha.
If that tells you anything.
It does. Tells me a lot.
Yeah. And even Moon Knight 14, the regular series is dragging. It got to issue 11. So I'm curious, once we get to 12, all bets are off.
We are due for about another decade of no Moon Knight.
Yeah. So I'm curious how much further, or at least getting to 14, it looks like. So that'll get us to the third trade.
But we're also getting Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, Jodie Hauser, Ibrahim Robertson, and several covers. The Fist of Khonshu meets the embiggened Fist of Miss Marvel.
You wouldn't put those together?
No.
Normally?
No.
So, yeah. I'll probably check that out.
We've got a completely crazy person. Let's put him with a small girl.
Yeah.
Boy, I hate everything about the cover for New Fantastic Four #4.
Yeah, that's Alan Robinson's art, and I am not a huge fan of that.
Don't like the She-Hulk cover. That's the worst of all of them that have come out. And I've been fairly high on the Jen Bartel covers, but that is awful.
Yeah, they've all got this color palette that is not pleasing, not a pleasing color palette. It's a Punisher 5.
That is awesome.
Jesus Saez is just gorgeous.
Or if you're a hillbilly like me, it says Jesus says.
Jesus Saez or Jesus says. Whatever. Whatever floats your boat.
But that is an awesome cover on that Punisher 5. I love that.
The Born Barons cover for Ghost Rider Vengeance Forever. Holy moly. I'm
That's
scared.
Awesome.
Then we're going to do another Ghost Rider, Iron Man 23, Captain Marvel 41, Black Panther, Thor.
Thor versus Venom
Alien.
by Donny Cates. So
we're relaunching Alien?
But we get, in Thor 28, we get Thor versus Venom. So we get Donny Cates writing both of them in the same book.
Yeah, that makes sense. He'd wedge that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Alien got rebooted. I didn't realize that was happening. Yeah.
Good cover on that. Bjorn Barons yet again.
Is that the Alien cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Normally I'd say, ooh, look at that Lineal Francis Yu, but not compared to the Born Barons. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mando cover, too. That's nice.
Very
That's Carrie
nice.
Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
Or Andrews. Kari.
6th issue of Han Solo and Chewbacca. Penultimate of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Got 4 other covers, too, that we don't get to see even postage stamps of.
Blah, blah, blah Bounty Hunters. Blah, blah, blah Aphra. At this point, it's getting to be blah, blah, blah Vader as well, unfortunately. Sorry, Greg.
So do you regretting not getting this Obi-Wan book?
No.
Probably nothing in there that's going to tie in with the show anyway, right?
I mean, it's just essentially telling Clone Wars stories.
Gotcha.
Hopefully something happens in one of these books, the Vader or else, but they've been just kind of boring.
What do you think of the Chris Sprouse cover or the Raza cover for Darth Vader 26?
Which one's the main cover?
Yeah, the main cover.
It's very cool. The sand. Yeah.
Alex Maleev's not bad either, the inset. Yeah.
Rest is just hardcovers and trades, collected editions, and all kinds of that fun stuff.
Fantastic Four Full Circle is more than just a trade.
Okay, tell me about Fantastic Four Full Circle and why I should care.
You should care because this is Alex Ross doing interior art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he does a lot of interior art. So this is kind of him. He's doing everything. And I gotta check it out. I think
so. Is it like a story, or is it like all the other stuff he's done, where it's just posters and murals?
From what I understand, it's not painted style art like he does for his covers. It's a different style. His style is different for this.
So it's the Diet Coke version of it,
maybe, or maybe it's something he's always wanted to do. Always had it in his drawer, working on it, and so it's passion project. Could be fantastic.
I see what you did there.
Or it could be terrible. I don't know. But it's definitely worth checking out, I think.
Well, the price. This is one they're asking what, $20 for? 25.
25 minus deep discount pricing. Gonna get half that. $12 to check out a full.
That you probably can beat.
Yeah. Whatever a special poster jacket is, you get one of those.
Sign me up.
Yeah. But then, yeah, you're right. After that point, it's all trades and new printings and reissues and hardcovers and collections. See if anything of note pumps out. They're collecting the Hulk Grand Design Jim Rugg book. That's kind of nice.
Down when you finally get to page 85, you're finally getting the fourth volume of the Moon Knight Epic Collection, the Butcher's Moon trade paperback.
Who is Zelenitz? I don't even remember that writer's name.
Yeah, because this is Moon Knight 1-6 from 1985, Marvel Team Up from 1972, Marvel Fanfare from 1982, Mark Spector Moon Knight 1-7, and Solo Avengers 3, Marvel Fanfare 38 and 39 from 1982, and Marvel Superheroes #1 from 1990.
Okay. Yeah, old school stuff. All right. Zelenitz. Yeah. Okay, very cool. That's an interesting collection.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting choice. 450 pages, and you can get this pre-ordered for $20. Man, you can't beat that. So many epic collections, and people that collect the epic collections, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. All I'm going to say is, do not buy Amazing Fantasy 1000. It's a lie.
It is a lie, and don't support it.
We will not be tricked. Your math cannot be that fuzzy.
No fun, no profit.
Hey, it's the good folks at Comics for Fun and Profit reminding you that nobody Patreons like we Patreon. So join us at C4FAP and go over to Patreon/ComicsFunProfit and sign up at a level of your choosing. There's various tiers with various goodies for you. Something that everyone gets at any level is you get to be a part of our Slack channel community, and you get early and ad-free access to all our episodes. But wait, there's more. So go over to Patreon/ComicsFunProfit and check out all we have to offer. We urge you, sign up today.
All right, Drew, I'm going to drag you kicking and screaming over to our good friends at Comics Heating Up to find our cover price top 10. Let's see what is moving like crazy on the secondary market, Drew.
Yeah, we can do it in order this time since you're leading
I'm not going to save this till the end.
A
like
gentle
we did last
nudge,
week.
a gentle nudge. Let's start at rank 10 with Catwoman 43. Of course, the Sozobiakia 1 in 25. A beautiful Polaroid of Harley and Catwoman. This thing is flying off the shelves. Already flew off the shelves. 25 auctions for just raw copies. $240, but we had high sales of over 400 already on this book. It's crazy.
Very nice.
At rank 9, we have the sensational She-Hulk. Of course, She-Hulk everywhere. This is the 1989 first appearance. The meta-aware and third wall-breaking first issue of her second series is what we're talking about with sensational. A CGC 9.8 going for $260 and 40 copies moving on the secondary market. Thor, God of Thunder number 2. Of course, this is Gore the God Butcher's first appearance. 40 copies still moving on the secondary market. And we are up to $500 for that CGC 9.8 because those trailers look so good. We have Thor, God of Thunder number 1 from that series. Key books in a storied run tend to get bumped when adaptations make their way to the big screen, and this book is no different. The first mention of Gore the God Butcher goes hand in hand with his first appearance in our previous book. Do you believe that, Drew?
What, that key issues in great runs?
No, that when you talk about Thor, God of Thunder number 1, this is the first mention of Gore the God Butcher.
I don't remember that. Maybe.
I just knew cameo appearances drive you nuts. Mentions, I assumed, would as well. The excitement for Bale's depiction of Gore is palpable, and he has a tremendous amount of excellent source material to choose from. After the latest Thor trailer, Gore remains on the brain as collectors continue to pick up books he is featured or even mentioned in. 26 copies moving on the secondary market, $155 for a CGC 9.8.
Yeah, I've thought it over, and you're correct. That's dumb. Super dumb.
There you go. That's what I figured.
Mentions suck.
And thumbs down on mentions. At rank 6, The Savage She-Hulk number 1 from 1980 after the recent full trailer and a mixed version of She-Hulk, the series from Disney+. This book has finally picked up the speed it deserves. Disney appeared to take note from the production of Sonic, tweaking some of the CGI and watching a large majority of detractors simply fade to the background. 43 copies on the secondary market, skyrocketing this CGC 9.8 to $919. At rank 5, we have Speed Racer number 1 from 1987. Speed Racer, The Demon on Wheels, is reportedly receiving a TV series adaptation. Per The Hollywood Reporter, J.J. Abrams' production company Bad Robot is set to produce the series. So we have, which aims to get back to the character's roots. Speed is beloved. His first appearing in a manga back in 1967, followed directly by an animated version in Japan and later America. So this is his first comic book appearance, Drew, but he appears in a manga before this. So
it's really the manga, right?
Yes, that's exactly what
manga.
Manga. 19 copies on the secondary market, $60 for a CGC 9.0. So the ceiling we haven't quite figured out for this. At rank 4, we have Thor number 1 from 2014. This is, of course, your female Thor, your awesome big giant book when it came out and still continues to be that way. CGC 9.8's $325. People can't wait to see Natalie Portman in that role in the new movie. Raw is going for about $100. It's crazy.
It's sold like crazy too. There's tons
a lot of copies out there.
Yeah.
Infinite Crisis number 5, the Jim Lee cover from 2006. Blue Beetle has been around in some form or another in comics since 1939. The most recent and arguably most popular is Jamie Reyes becoming Blue Beetle in this issue for the first time. Recent set photos of DC's Blue Beetle, set to release in 2023, have been making waves across social media. Xolo Maribuena of Cobra Kai fame depicts the character in an incredible comic-accurate costume. I love the costume. Looks great. 30 copies on the secondary market. High sale of $400 for a CGC 9.8. Countdown presents The Search for Ray Palmer. Superwoman, Batwoman, number 1 from 2007. DC and Warner Brothers come out swinging this week, pushing the market for some lesser-known characters per variety. Comedian Leslie Jones has been selected to portray Plastic Woman, who first appeared in this gender-swapped book in an upcoming DC animated adult comedy. High sale of $155.90 for a CGC 9.8. And at rank 1, we have Die Kamikaze #1 by Now Comics from 1987. The preview appearance of Speed Racer #1 is a little out of place in a comic about giant robots, but the Demon on Wheels is still cool. Fans and collectors are actively picking this former $2 book up as news broke about a new Speed Racer TV series. With a storied history dating back to 1967 depicted in manga, TV, and the big screen, and comics like this from the 80s, Speed Racer has a diverse and massive fan base across the multiple generations.
And you are short selling Speed Racer, right?
Yes.
We don't have any confidence that that's going to do anything. Yeah.
No. Unless they cast somebody nuts, and then I even say sell them then.
Yeah, I can't see it working. I just can't. We're different.
$30 for Raw.
Yeah. At rank 11, we have Mullet Cop. This is a Scout book. $20.
I believe my pick of the week at one point.
Yeah, I agree. My stupid ads are covering up I can't read anything. Okay, there it is. What If #10 comes in at rank 12 from 1978. This is not the first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor, but it kind of is. So it's a different version of Jane Foster as Thor. So the character goes by the name of Thordis, so that's a little different, right?
Definitely different.
Yeah, 28 additional copies, but did have a high sale of $500 for a 9.6. Not too bad. Spawn #9, the first Angela. We think we're going to get her in a Guardians book or Guardians MCU movie at some point. So that's spiking again. 18 additional copies with a high sale of $170 for a CGC 9.8. Sold online. X-Men #4 from 1992. This is Omega Red and Mephisto. The multiple speculated MCU introductions of Omega Red and Mephisto were some of the year's biggest misfires. So much so that Mephisto became a running joke. The comic community was so into this book that it landed in our top 10 4 times. Despite this, collectors are still buying into this book with 23 sales tracked last year. So is it? I forgot. Is X-Men 4? That's Omega Red, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Mephisto's like a lot older character.
Correct.
Rank 15, we have Something is Killing the Children, 23. The Virgin Bloody one per store book that we liked but couldn't pick because it was a one per store book.
Correct.
And it was 29 copies of this sold, selling for around $70 for what's that? Probably around a 1 in 50 price.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Venom Lethal Protector #1 from 1993 continues to sell. 19 additional copies sold with a high sale of $180 for a CGC 9.8. I really got to dump all mine. Why am I keeping them? For Venom 3 or 4? No. Just get rid of them.
That's right.
Amazing Spider-Man #4 from 2014. Sold. What is this? Oh, the Cindy Moon and Silk's first appearance was in this issue. So
I have this and the variant of this.
Yes. I think you have tons of these, don't you?
I went a little deep.
Yeah. 16 copies with a high sale of $400 almost for a CGC 9.8. Fantastic. Moon Knight #1 from 1980 continues to make its way onto this list. 21 additional copies with a high sale of $729 for a 9.8. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know why Werewolf by Night hasn't popped back up on here again. You'd think first or second appearance in Werewolf by Night would make an appearance every once in a while.
Yeah, because they're so friggin' expensive. You're moving 1 or 2 of them because nobody else can afford them.
That's true. I still have my second appearance somewhere.
Sell it.
Yeah, it's already sold my first. Spawn 1 from 1992 continues to sell 25 additional copies with a high sale of $201 for a 9.8. So back over $200 again. That's awesome. And rounding out the top 20 is Captain Carter #1. We don't know why this sells, but 23 additional copies have sold, and at a high sale of $220 for a CGC 9.8 already. That's great.
Already.
Nuts.
All right, Drew. We've talked about the things currently popping off on the market. Now let's make sure that we check our orders, add a few things through this FOC, so we don't have to try to buy these things on the secondary market for extra money. We get a lovely curated list sent from our good friends at Deep Discount Comics and Cowabunga with a list of the items that we can add or modify to our order. Sometimes we get a few extra glances at some art that we didn't get during our previews process, and we can do a few cool things through that. And we have a couple days here on the weekend to make sure that we get those orders in. So, Drew, join with me as we start in DC, since we didn't have them last week, and see what they are offering for our FOC.
Probably chock full of stuff.
Yeah, we, of course, start with Action Comics 1044.
We're going to do lots of Pride Month stuff.
Lots of Pride Month stuff, yep. So, Action has one, Aquaman.
I mean, will the Pride Month stuff be sought after?
It wasn't over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It neither did the Pacific Islander month stuff, or the special month things have not been hitting too hard.
Yeah.
But we shall see. This may be the year that changes.
Every once in a while, one of the quarterly books, either like whatever, like around a holiday or whatever, every once in a while those hit because there's something that happens in them. But yeah, for the most part, you could probably steer clear of all those.
Yeah. Harley has the Pride Month stock cover as well. Actually, not as many Pride covers as I thought they'd have for the first week or two.
Well, yeah, this is FOC, so we've probably seen a lot of them already.
Yeah.
DC versus Vampires Killers #1 shot,
because this stuff's coming out the final week of June.
Yeah. So we've probably already seen all the stuff. Oh, I just love that Deathstroke 1 in 25. Philia Brodekin cardstock. It's just, what's going on there? But it's so detailed, hyper detailed. Like, there's so much going on that cover. It just, I love it. You're probably saying busy, right?
A lot going on.
Probably not your style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think it's cool. This would be somebody that I would like follow. Like, I'm gonna start grabbing his stuff, but not at 1 in 25 prices.
I can't stop looking at the DC versus Vampires Killers #1, the cover B, the homage cover. It's still such a good cover.
What's it an homage to?
The other cover that looks exactly like that I can't think of.
Is that like a Batman 400 or something?
Yeah, like the Ra's al Ghul cover era stuff.
Gotcha.
And we have some dummy thick versions of your favorite characters in the 1 in 25. Like, we have caked up Catwoman and Harley like crazy.
Robin and Flatline kissing. 115. If that's a big deal or not. Is it Black Caravan, the imprint? The Scout imprint. I have this vanity book. It looks kind of interesting.
And Behemoth #1. Behemoth from Black Caravan. That looks kind of rad.
Yeah. Yeah, the Robin covers have been good throughout. They've been really solid. Who's Batman kissing on Detective 1061? Is that Talia?
What cover? The A?
The A.
No? Well, yeah, I'm going to say it probably has to be, yeah.
God, how much is that? Deathstroke Inc. 10, 1 in 25. Let me look at that. That is $35. Oof, too much.
Too much going on and too much being asked.
Yeah, too much money.
It's very reminiscent of a Where's Waldo.
Yeah, yeah. If you got so get a virgin of this, and a virgin cover of this, and then just that's frameable.
Yeah.
So good. What's next? What's after? Scout and Vault.
A lot of number ones from Scout. Bush Leaguers, number one. A lot of fun stuff from Scout, but you just never know.
What's next? Marvel? IDW?
Sure. Yeah.
Go IDW first. Got Dark Spaces Wildfire number 1.
Scott Snyder book.
Yeah. So check that out.
It's the anthology series, so
what's his deal, man? I mean, like, he was DC's boy, right?
Yeah.
Like he toted the water for DC only.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just sprinkling himself everywhere. Which is cool. Why not? Spread your wings. But I would have never guessed that. You know, I just would have assumed that he would just everything he did would be either a Black Label book or a mainline DC book.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he was never exclusive. I guess never signed exclusive. I just thought he was.
So the different covers from this book make it look like completely different books because it actually looks like it's a firefighter book.
Weird, right?
Yeah, but that's not what you get from the cover A. But it's definitely what you get from the Tula Lote.
So strange.
Yeah. I mean, it looks
more. Read it.
Yeah, I think it'll be worth it.
Of course, I said that about the Snyder Capullo book that I never even cracked yet. Just sitting there stacked up.
All right, let's see what Marvel has in here.
They're just long. They're just really long. A Mercado variant for Amazing Spider-Man number 5 is not bad. Kind of like the look of it, and it's normal priced. I don't know what the Ribic looks like. Do we have a look at the Ribic yet?
I do not.
This is the book before Legacy 900, so they might tease something here that is expanded on in 900, and 900 will be super distributed, whereas this would be a little lower print run. So there's possible money to be made there if they tease something that they expand on and it hits. You said nothing on the Ribic.
It's not bad. It's pretty good, but it's okay.
Just okay. My computer won't even pick it up.
Fortnite Cross Marvel. A lot of kid covers, and then you out of nowhere you get a 1 in 25 by Bjorn Barons again.
Doing a Fortnite book?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It must be it's like a 1 in 25 or 150. Yep.
Thor 25 going to a second printing.
I think I want $40 for a 1 in 25. That's nuts.
Good cover fight from Art Germ on the X-Men Hellfire Gala.
Is King Conan, is that it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it, right? And that's King Conan 6 of 6, and then that's the end of the license too?
It's
gone?
Believe isn't Conan open source or public
I don't
domain?
I don't think so. It's something weird. Like the Conan licensing agreement expired. Marvel didn't re-up it. I think it's going back to Dark Horse, maybe. But also, like, Marvel can keep telling stories, I think. I don't know. It's really weird. I'm going to have to dig into it to figure out exactly what the deal is. But I know it expired, and I know they're going to lose it. But I don't know that it's that severe of a loss for them.
Only 2 floppy comics from Dark Horse, so I'm heading straight to Image, where we just had a conversation about the word public domain, and we have public domain number 1 from Image. Chip Zdarsky, writing and art on this.
Yeah, this is something I'm super excited about. I can't wait to read this. I've heard really great things. He's doing everything, so I think it'll be really good.
Chipper's not sleeping much. He's just cranking out books.
Yeah.
Sid Dallas is responsible for pop culture's greatest hero, The Domain, but his sons, Miles and David, have complicated relationships with both the creation and their creator. Can they convince their dad to fight for their family legacy? This fun and heartfelt series will be written by Chip Zdarsky.
Kyle, look. What's the furthest place from here? Number 7. Look what's back. Our vinyl deluxe edition with vinyl.
Wow.
They brought it back. Did they not skip? Did they not skip
yeah.
an issue or 2?
Yeah.
So, I guess your collection is gonna have a hole in it.
Where do you see the vinyl one?
It's deluxe edition, $15.99.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at the discount and thinking that's not enough.
Yeah, it's not much.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
and there's a 1 per store deluxe.
Is that a little more?
Yeah, and I don't know what the difference is.
It's actually cheaper to get the 1 per store. I mean, so is like the first person who orders that gets it, the 1 per store for $7.99.
Yes, 100%. Let's do
that. Or is that just not supposed to be in the order form?
Yeah, possibly.
Oh wait a minute, because this is like, is this a reissue? This is second pressing on the other one. Oh, what's going on?
We will do some digging because I am unaware.
Yeah.
Boom giving us more Buffy 97 and 7 Secrets, and then that is all. Ablaze Comics gives us Catgirl.
That's Antarctic.
Oh, Antarctic. Sorry, Ablaze was the other one. My bad.
What is Catgirl about?
Looks kiddish.
Yeah. Hard pass then.
Okay. From Action Lab, we have Hamlin number 1 from Cristiano Del Monte and Francisco Zapparadio.
Cool.
In Brooklyn, Edward Kelly, Josh struggles to survive, avoiding the assault of their teacher and a vicious janitor. Their only chance to survive is to head towards an abandoned metro station.
Like the Little Monsters is like the kids are kind of killing off the adults. We had in What's the Furthest Place from Here, you know, when you get to be an adult, you got to go and leave the tribe.
Yeah, you got Logan's Run or whatever.
We do a lot of that.
I'm trying to think if I know Opus.
I know Joe Satriani, guitarist, guitar rock god, Joe Satriani. Unless there's another one. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's something. It's got music in it, so I bet you that's the Joe Satriani.
Oh yeah.
A Vampaverse book from Dynamite. Oh my goodness.
All right, Drew, this is the point of the podcast where I ask for your pick of the week. What is your one book to run to the old LCS and snag up this week?
It's got to be my boy Chip. His book, Public Domain. I'm super excited for it. I've loved pretty much everything he's done. So, from Sex Criminals to now, they've all been pretty darn good. So, I'm going to go with that one.
There you go. And I'm going to stick with Hamlin #1 from Action Lab.
Yeah, we haven't picked an Action Lab in a long time. You said it's Hamlin?
Hamlin.
Okay. Locked and loaded.
There you go. Drew, I'm just noticing that our good friends at CBSI, our Comic Book Invest, do not have a Hot 10 for this week.
They don't.
They do not. So,
prepare yourself for Dork Day Afternoon, a brand new actual play podcast.
New performers! Oh, that's fun.
The brainchild of two brothers, spawned from their desire to crush the fictional hopes and dreams of their friends and loved ones.
Do you remember what I said about being a monster of a GM?
Someone has to be a monster, and the GM's the one who probably should be.
2 shows every week. On Mondays, coming to you from the end of the world, 2 past midnight, a Twilight 2000 4th edition campaign.
As if being in prison wasn't stress enough. War is hell, gentlemen.
And on Thursdays, the circus comes to town with Encore of the Lost, a playthrough of the Extinction Curse AP, written for Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Valiant, no!
What is it, Pumpkin? I'm looking at pumpkins.
Roll for initiative.
Natural 20 for a total of 24.
25.
You.
Dork Day Afternoon. Listen, your life might just depend on it.
Actually, Kyle, it is available. Only the next day. So, CBSI didn't get their Hot 10 out before our recording, but it's up now, so we'll go ahead and take care of that right now for you. At #1, Batman number 423, the Todd McFarlane foil variant. It's $400. I get that this original cover is considered a top 5 post-Silver Age Batman cover. Does that mean the full version of this should be so expensive? Good for you if you love it. Rank 2, we have Star Wars from 2000. Star Wars number 17 from 2000 earlier. It's a Dark Horse book. $125 raw. We figured there would be some Obi-Wan connections, and so this one is Quinlan Voss being named. Dropped, caused an uptick in his first appearance. It's so crazy how Star Wars could branch into 500 different areas if they really wanted to. Which is why Star Wars fans crack me up when they get upset about something being out of canon. Yeah, nerds are the worst. From Boom, at rank 3, we get Grimm #1 going to a second print and getting some heat. $30 because of allocations, so this led to higher prices. They know what gets people talking and buying. Boom knows what they're doing. The Catwoman 1 in 25, Catwoman number 43 comes in at rank 4. The 1 in 25 variant was $175. Now it's $250. Just keeps getting higher. It's a must-have book, I guess. So yeah, this continues to. That was well worth the 1 in 25 ratio. So you just never know. Department of Truth. Number 18, the Todd McFarlane 1 in 100 comes in at rank 5. It has now went from $175 to $300, and the foils are also doing well. At rank 6, we have Batman Killing Time, the Ben Oliver, Killing Time number 4, the Ben Oliver 1 in 25 variant. This is just another one of those Catwoman covers that looks very similar to all the other ones, but this one's going for $60 to $70, so good on you. We have the Star Wars Rebels trade paperback, 1 per store, coming in at rank 7. So it's going for $50. If you limit a Star Wars book to 1 per store, it's going to sell well. Even though this is a trade, they're selling well at the moment compared to floppy, so I would actually expect more of these limited trades in the future. So kind of an interesting angle to take. Good for you for figuring that out. And At rank 8, we have Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 38, the Scan 1 in 50 variant. This book is at $75 to $80. It's a Spider Smasher first appearance. And there you go. Heat. At rank 9, we have Avengers Forever number 6. It's going in the 15 to $20 range for Vibranium Man first appearance. I can't imagine this being a long-term hold, but maybe. 15 to $20. And at rank 10, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, the movie, number 1 from 2012. It's the Andrew Garfield photo cover, $70 to $80 being sold. Since I guess there's Andrew Garfield signings coming up, so photo covers are really selling all over the place. So there you go. Interesting angle there as well. Honorable mention goes to Ironheart number 10, the E-Viewing Luciano Vecchio book. It's the first appearance of Riri's father. So that's given us spec now, $25 to $30. And you should be able to find plenty of Ironheart number 10 out there, sitting in bins where people haven't noticed that it's spiked. So, grab that up for cover or less. Super Duper Comics number 3 is the old school highlight. 9.2 just sold for $13,200. It's the most expensive copy of it ever that sold. But it does say America's newest sensation right there on the cover. And it's a nice bright yellow book. It doesn't say it's a Promise collection, but a 9.2, pretty solid at the 10 center. Very cool. So, sorry Kyle didn't get to do that, but we did get the CBSI just a little after our recording, and we thought we'd bring that back to you, the listener. So screw them. Let's move right on into the
sneak peek at next week for our June 8th and June 7th items. Let's creep around in our DC products and see what they have for us. So we're heading over to Lunar Distributions to see what our items are here. And here we are seeing a bunch of the first of the Pride variants coming out in June. Starting with Batman 124 and the very cool Amy Reeder Pride cardstock. Oof.
I like a lot of that. That's really nice stuff. Good Greg Capullo doing Dark Crisis cover B.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nightwing makes the cover of the cover E by Bruno Redondo, of course. Jim Lee's Crisis homage wrap.
It's a cool. I can't see much of it because just like their previews, we get a lot of postage stamp size looks at things here.
Yeah, even if you click on it, you're not getting the biggest image. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of segmented. Looks like it's, 8 panels?
Yeah.
On each. So 16 across both pages.
Dark Knights of Steel number 7 is one of the dopest covers of all time. And my boy Dan Mora is drawing it.
Yeah. A dragon.
I would like Batman on the back of a fire-breathing dragon wielding a sword in knight's armor. Yeah. What are you, high? Just do it.
Just do it. Draw it. You can sell that. You'll be able to sell that original art for $10,000.
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
We'll go do your previous pick of Justice League 75. We're getting a second printing of that.
As well we should. The cover A for Monkey Prince 5, the Jaws homage, is a good time.
Very nice. Sometimes those hit. those homages to movies.
Hey, I picked Quest Aside as my pick of the week not too long ago, and it went to a second print.
Very cool.
For our good friends at Vault, so that is awesome.
I think I picked Quest Aside, but maybe you picked it in FOC and I picked it during the sneak, or vice versa.
One of the two.
Because you follow me and do whatever I say.
Yes, you are my American Idol. All right, not bad. Let's head on over to Previews World and see what the rest of our publishers have, and start with Image Comics.
Still wasn't Closet released last week?
Yes.
That's weird. Did it get delayed because of supply chain or something?
Yes, I will say. I do not know the answer to that, though.
Let's say that. There's Little Monsters, I referenced. Yeah. It's 4th issues coming out. That's cool. Metal Society 2, I just read the first issue. I liked it a lot. It was pretty cool. Robots have... they run the show, and they create humans now in little test tubes, just for funsies. Yeah, they don't. There's some jobs that are too mundane for them. They don't want to do it because they're higher functioning than we are. So they've created some human people to do that, and they're on the 3rd generation of humans that they've created in test tubes, and they're up. So and now some of these earlier generations are having like babies the regular way, which they think is just hilarious. The robots do. So it's kind of an interesting sci-fi look at robots ruling the world.
Robots,
very neat.
Which takes me to, there's a Netflix series called I think it's Love, Death and Robots or something like that.
Okay.
It's on its 3rd season, and the 3rd season they're very independent, small animated. You're never going to watch them because they're animated. But they're all like 5 minutes a piece or something, just different animated things. And season 3 has a sequel to one that showed up in season 1. It's very much of that same exact premise.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Perhaps stolen.
Perhaps
idea stolen.
How dare they? Ward #1 from Dark Horse. We talked about this. We have a few things. I keep getting confused on these because we have a lot of Space means ER here for Dark Horse Comics. Of course, Kevin Scott writing this. So he goes from Star Wars High Republic to the Ward.
Very interesting. And it's true because we did have was it ETER?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the Ward looked better. Like we had some weird things on some different things. I liked them. I'm all the way down to Marvel before I find anything else I like.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, go ahead.
Of course, this is where our Fortnite cross Marvel begins with these Christos gays written. But are we really expecting anything from the story? Or are we literally just propping up, digital currency from Fortnite? But who knows?
Did we not get something that popped in one of the Fortnite books because something was introduced there? Does that sound right?
That does not sound right.
No. They've been forgettable.
But you can get a dope Sinkovich variant.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider #1 going to a 3rd print.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I have only read the first 2 issues, but they've been good.
Jane Foster Thor starting its 5-issue arc here.
Kyle, is the Chrysanthemum Star Wars Tales #1 going to hit again?
No, because it's just redoing Star Wars 14, 15, and 20, as well as Dr. A for Annual 1, which are all things I own, so this book needs to die.
So, yeah, just a reprint. Yeah.
But I do like the photo variant.
Yeah. Some facsimiles. We're getting Moon Knight #1's facsimile. That's fantastic. I'm so excited. And that Star Wars action figure variant is Luke in battle poncho. Man, I never had that figure. No, I never went that deep.
What if Miles Morales became Wolverine going to a second print?
I didn't love those.
No, they all ended up just hacky. Which I knew they would be, but I thought they could still be something.
Yeah. Thought, there might be something here. I don't think there was.
I don't think so either. Time will tell, but I'm saying no. Grimm #1 going to a second print from Boom Studios, and I like a different cover on that. Stephanie Phillips. So just FYI, get that.
Orc's back with a new volume for The Curse.
There you go. We had an interview with Christine Larson, didn't we?
Yep.
At some point. So go back and I remember listening to that and thinking it was very interesting. So go back and listen to that and then pick up Orcs.
Yeah, our patrons just got today an interview with Matt Kent.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Jason's crushing it.
Cannot beat that. Why do we give him all the fun jobs?
Because you would not believe the work it is to juggle publicists and publishers and creator schedules and time zones. And he's on Hawaii time, so that's another special brand that he has to deal with. But, and then they cancel and reschedule on him all the time. I wouldn't want his job.
But he stays with it, and he does great work for us.
Does great work for us. So much good stuff out there. And on our fledgling YouTube channel, which we are just barely converting stuff over, one of his early ones, Ed Pisker, the hip-hop family tree guy, is by far our #1 video over there. It does really, really well.
That's awesome.
Pisker's Army. Strong. I think that might be it for me.
Yeah, nothing else really going on. Bunch of stuff coming out, but no. From Behemoth we have Neverender #1 from Devin Kraft. It's a future book. Future space. We have New Think #1 from Artists, Writers, and Artisans. Did we talk about that?
No, I don't think so. What's it called?
Greg Hurwitz.
Oh, okay.
This Black Mirror style anthology examines the rapid proliferation of technology. I don't know big words. The culture and political polarization of the country and the technocrats that have driven us to such extremes as though that were... Man, they're going high end on this. They are giving me big words that I can't say, so I am just bowing out. But that was pretty much the end of the solicit anyways, so
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, I like that during the FOC cycle. I remember. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, just call you Celine Dion. Potions Incorporated from Mad Cave we talked about for a little bit. This was Radagast Jones, who instead of taking adventure, he just makes potions and runs a shop. The call of adventure always seems to hang up whenever Radagast Jones tries to answer it, leaving him facing the dull future of working in his family's successful potion shop.
Oh, yeah, we did like this one.
When a powerful artifact is stolen from his parents and puts them under the terrible curse, Rand finally gets the quest he's been after his entire life. He and his siblings set off to find the missing artifact, and its trail leads them from their homeland of Primateria to the very strange realm of Earth.
Yeah, and that plot is like in every other fantasy.
Yeah, could we get some fish out of water stuff? You got
it. Quest? Okay, check.
Yeah. Ragtag bunch of brothers? Check.
Check that
guy
box.
who doesn't know how to do any of this stuff? Check.
Yes.
All right, Drew. It seems like we just did this, but I'm going to ask you for yet another pick of the week.
Yes. I am going to go with, and I meant to, I talked this up a little bit during FOC, but I didn't pick it. But I want to pick it now, and I want to pick Skybound Presents After School. And it's a younger skewing book by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. And I just like the attempt. And it's possible that this could be something optioned. So I think there's some possibility here. Greg Hinkle is doing the art. I'm a big fan of Greg Hinkle. So that put it over the top for me. So Skybound Presents After School #1 is my choice.
And I'm going to say the Fortnite Marvel Zero War #1 book will do some cool things. And if you can get this Miles Morales UK exclusive cover, that's going to be pretty dope, because that is a very cool cover with Miles on it and this weird cat character that my son very much enjoys.
I really thought you were going to go with New Think. I thought you had that locked and loaded.
I was kicking around New Think. I was kicking around the Ward, and then I was like, Fortnite Marvel is going to go to a second print, and these are going to be on the secondary market for more than $6. I just know it. So, all that good stuff.
Right.
So I want to thank you for tagging along with Drew and myself through our sneak peek next week as we travel through the comic book world and see what we think is going to pop or what you should be reading and collecting. We thank you so much. Head on over to our Patreon. Follow us there to have conversations with us about some of our unbridled thoughts on some of these things, because, Drew and I clean it up a little bit for you guys on the podcast. We try to be respectable. But we're not always like that in some ways. And other really cool stuff that you can get for being part of our Patreon community. We really very much enjoy that. So for Drew and for myself, see ya.
Hey guys, it's Drew from Comics for Fun and Profit, and it's time again to support Hurricane. This is a fundraising comic convention for the Bethany Congregational Church of East Rockaway, New York, sent to us by our friend David Donovan, our friend of the show and patron David Donovan. And why should you support Hurricane? And this year it's being called FurnaceCon as well, for that Bethany Congregational Church of East Rockaway, New York. Well, let me tell you in his own words. Hurricane Sandy hit my hometown of East Rockaway, Long Island. Homes were flooded, trees were toppled, boats were thrown on the mainland, and many residents were forced from their homes and lost everything. The relief center after Hurricane Sandy was located at the Bethany Congregational Church of East Rockaway Gym for months. Neighbors affected by Hurricane Sandy came in and walked out with whatever they needed to get on with their lives. Hundreds of people came to the Bethany Church during the following months, and the gym floor took a beating. The gym floor has been redone and looks great, but we still had to pay for it. And that is what Hurricane, a comic art convention, that is how Hurricane, a comic art convention, was born. In addition to housing the relief center, Bethany has hosted Next Step Ministries at the church every summer since Hurricane Sandy. Next Step went into the surrounding community and performs repairs for free. So why support Bethany Church? The church has been part of the community since 1885. The church runs the Thriftique, which is a thrift store that sells clothing and household items at very reduced prices to many low-income families in the area to come by and buy these items they could not afford somewhere else. Bethany also collects food for the Long Island Council of Churches Emergency Food Pantry and makes weekly contributions. Bethany Church is a member of the UCC and is an open and affirming congregation. That means that everyone is welcome to worship regardless of race, creed, religious affiliation, or sexual orientation. This winter, the church's furnace failed and had to be replaced. As you can imagine, this was a costly repair, and FurnaceCon came to be. What will you find at FurnaceCon 2022? Comic books, of course, but also comic book writers and artists, toys, food, local artists, collectibles, cosplay, fellowship, and much, much more. We hope you consider supporting FurnaceCon on June 4th, 2022. and Hurricane on later this year on November 11th. So we have 2 cons this year. If you're interested in supporting Bethany Church through their Venmo, you can do so at Bethany East Rock. It's Bethany East Rock, BETHANY East Rock, EASTROCK. And please include a note that your donation is toward the furnace. If you have more information, you can contact David Donovan at Hurricon, HURRICON at yahoo.com, or give him a call, 516-209-1587. So support FurnaceCon on June 4th and save the date for Hurricane later this year, November 11th, all to support this church's efforts in their community. Our LCS is Cowabunga Comics out of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, and their mail order company, Deep Discount Comics. And we went there, and we were actually invoice number 00001. We were the very first their very first customer, which was kind of cool. They've been nothing short of fantastic, customer service wise. Discounts, they were very close, if not the same or better than DCBS on a lot of things. Over and above, customer service wise, always taking care of us, going the extra mile, so responsive, getting instantaneous responses back to questions about things, and to the point where knowing the stuff you like and anticipating your needs and having it suggested that you might want to add this to your order already before you even have to think about it. That's kind of cool. Really quality experience. So we love working with Cowabunga and Deep Discount, and that's why they're in our show notes every single episode, and have been for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes. That we leave them there because we like them. They're cool, good people. That's why they're in there. By God, they'd tell you to, if you've got a local comic book shop that you love, stay with them, because everybody needs to support their local comic shops. But if you're looking, check them out. You can check them out in the show notes. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of them. Either get on their list, just so you can check and see what kind of FOC and pre-order stuff they have and the discounts, and they'll send it to you each month, get you on that email list. And you can check out their shop, because they have a great shop of exclusive Cowabunga variants. Amazing stuff. Yes, they've always been there for us, and we take them for granted. So there you go. Now you know. If you listen to the end, you have heard a new record for Comics for Fun and Profit of the most ads inserted into a single episode. So, hey, congrats.